Hey everybody, it's Anna. Time for the Wednesday card in this week's tarot story. Today we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So Pentacles are connected to the physical realm. They're about things you can see and taste and touch. They're about jobs and hobbies and money, as well as your physical wellness and vitality, right? And the number 8 I connect to being in very high power, very high momentum, really kind of unstoppable master energy. So if we look at this card, we see there's a fella who is crafting pentacles. He's actually in the middle of crafting these pentacles, and he's on his 8th one. At this point, he's a master. He's done this so many times. His body, he doesn't even have to think about it. You know, he can just it's a body memory now. His body can take this and settle into really a meditative state almost as he's creating this, because he has put in enough time and energy and intention that it's become him. So I think of this card as being about really settling into our mastery, really enjoying the fact that we don't have to think too hard at this or work too hard at this. It becomes a joy. It becomes a blessing to us. And of course, it's a blessing to the world. This came to us reversed. And when I see this card reversed, I connect it to perfectionism, which is we're being vigilant over our work. We're not trusting ourselves to do the work properly. So instead of letting ourselves be in the flow and enjoying what we're doing, we're challenging it, we're criticizing it, we're overly scrutinizing that. And that comes from the idea that what we're doing has to be perfect, which is a misunderstanding of what it means to be on the planet. Our planet is designed to be imperfect, and we are designed to be imperfect creators on the planet. In fact, the magic happens in the pulling together of dissonant parts and making them work together. That is going to be an imperfect, messy mixture, but it's going to be magical as well. So often the perfectionism comes from an anxious mind, and the mind's worried that it's not worthy, right? And it thinks, okay, I got to prove that I'm worthy by not making any mistakes. And of course, that's where perfectionism comes from. But that need to not make any mistakes adds such a burden to our workload that we end up producing very little, maybe nothing. Actually, perfectionism can kill off your creativity altogether, but it at least slow you way down to the point that, finally your intuitive genius gives up. It gets strangled out. So trying to make us perfect and worthy results in us not accomplishing anything at all, or at least nothing sustainable. And this reminds me of yesterday's card. We had the Page of Swords reversed, which I said was like that we're being called out of the student mode into the active mode, into the knight mode. And it's the mind, swords are the mind. So the mind is worried that it's not ready. It doesn't want to mess up. It wants to stay in the classroom a little bit longer, learn some more stuff before it goes into the world, because it kind of guesses, and it's true, that once it goes into the world, it will discover that it doesn't know everything. It's going to mess up. It's going to be an imperfect, kind of messy road. And it thinks that if it prepares longer, it can avoid that messiness. But it can't, right? The only way to avoid messiness is to never create it all. So if you're here to create stuff, messiness is part of the deal. So this card relates in that way. Like, we want the mind to learn to trust us, that there's a genius to what we're doing. Yeah, it's not perfect. It was never supposed to be perfect. The worthiness is not in perfection. It is in engagement. It is in the fact that we're showing up at all. And there's something magical that happens when we relax and let the flow take us. So consider today what's something that you could do with your eyes closed, you could do in your sleep, and something that feels like it belongs to you. And it could be something that other people do, but you do it differently because it's coming from a different place in you. And is your mind worried about it? It doesn't look like that person's. It doesn't look the way they do it, or it needs to be better here. Is your mind arguing? So I think about yesterday's card, right? It's like an artist who creates only for themselves. That would be like the page, like I'm practicing, right? But then you put it into the world. Now you're stepping out as the knight. You're offering your gift to the world. And your mind goes, no, we need to get it better. We need to get it better. That's what this is. You practiced enough. There's something in you. It's in flow now. It's ready to come into the world. Do you have to scrutinize it again and again and again? Like, when you're going to be done, before it comes into the world? The world's ready for your blessing. Some people won't get it. Some people will. And you're here to get your vision, your gift into the world for the sake of those who are hungry and ready for it. So we have to help the mind let go of the fear of not being good enough and trust that not only are you good enough, you're magical. That's today's card. See you for tomorrow's. Bye.